And I wanted to share a story that really exemplifies a conversation that I've been having with a lot of my friends lately, especially white friends who want to be good allies. So I went on a socially distanced walk earlier this week with a really good friend who is very civically involved in almost every movement and really using their skills to make sure that there is equity in the world. And one of the things that we talked about is that whenever race comes up, it's as if this friend who is white has a hand around their neck, strangling them, preventing them from speaking or engaging in the conversation. And we talked about why. And they mentioned that they feel sometimes, like they don't know what to say. They don't feel as educated on, issues of race as they do about other things. They think that talking about anything or inserting themselves in any way is taking up space in the conversation, and that they don't want to be seen as doing that. And this all really came to a head this week when they volunteered to be part of some groups that were forming at their workplace that were going to be addressing some of these issues of inequity, learning about anti-racism, etc. They became a facilitator for some conversations at work, and they also volunteered to put together a guide that would help other people have better conversations and know what resources were out there to learn. And as they were putting this guide together to share with the wider community at work, they reached out to a group of women, Black women, who were organizing some other events to get some feedback on it. And when they got the feedback back, the document was full of red lines and, edits and things that they needed to do to it to improve it. And they told me that when they got it back, they just felt crushed. Like they felt embarrassed. They felt ashamed that they'd already gone into the request being mindful of asking, marginalized communities to continue to educate and do uncompensated labor. And they just felt like they had totally failed at being an ally. And when they told me about this, I looked at them with love and was just like, I get where you're coming from, but you're still making this about you. The way that I see it, you asked for help. You asked for help from the community, and they gave it to you. And what they did and what they offered was in the spirit of making your document better, which what I believe your goal is to create resources that are, accurate, give people opportunities to learn, and that hopefully enable them to make impact in creating equity in the world. And you did that. But what you didn't get in that situation is a gold star. You didn't get the approval of the Black women who have been organizing these efforts. You got some editing, which you asked for. And I really think the reason that you feel bad is because, you don't think that you're being a good ally. You don't feel like it makes you look good. And I've heard this come up in a lot of ways. A lot of people expressing fear that they're not doing it right. Embarrassment when people correct them or call them out even. And I get why people feel that way. It never feels good to be embarrassed or to feel like you're not doing it right. But I asked this friend, had they ever played racquetball? I've never played racquetball, neither had they. And if they had been, they made a video of them playing racquetball and handed it over to some person who was, maybe like a locally ranked racquetball champion to get some critique, like how would they feel? Would they feel embarrassed? Would they feel like they weren't doing it right? If this person came back to them with critique? Probably not. They're like, I've only been playing racquetball for like 2 weeks. There's probably a ton of mistakes here and I'm invested in getting better. And this person is giving me their time and effort to help me get better. And they probably have a sense of humor about it. And I'm telling you guys this story because I really don't want you to be paralyzed in your action. I know you're getting a lot of information, a lot of direction right now, and you're probably feeling a lot of discomfort. But growth doesn't happen without discomfort. It doesn't happen if we don't stretch ourselves. It doesn't happen if we don't open ourselves up to criticism and critique. And one of the first things you need to think about is, what is my intention in being an ally? Is it to be seen as morally superior to other people, to be seen as a good person, to be seen, favorably, to get approval? Or is it really to move these, issues forward, to promote equity in the world, to make this world more, racially just, to make sure that other people have the same rights and, privileges that I myself am afforded, to use my voice to do something better, to bring something better forth in the world? You really have to think and ask yourself, what is my intention? Is my intention getting gold stars and approval? Is my intention stumbling forward to make progress? And what you might discover is that maybe you're acting from a place of approval seeking. And that's okay, as long as you acknowledge it consciously and shift maybe your energy towards what you truly intend and what you say that you are intending, which is making this world more equitable. I hope this gives you something to think about. As always, reach out to me if you have questions. I'm an open book, open dialogue, and I'm in this with you. We're all learning together. Thanks.